One of the things that I have planned for 2024 is to talk about the various things that are going to be celebrating 20th anniversaries this year. You know, things that came out in 2004. And there were a lot of things that came out in 2004 that were significant to me in some way. Um, Video games like Half-Life 2 or Halo 2, movies like Saw or Primer, all these films and more, celebrating 20th anniversaries. Now, there isn't anything more important to me than the show Lost, which is also celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. So, for me to honor that, I'm going to be doing 365 days of Lost, uh, which every day I'm going to be talking about something different, Lost related. For the first 120 something days, it's just going to be reviewing an episode one by one. I am aware that there are 366 days this year. I don't know what I'm going to do. If I'm going to do anything different or special, but I can't call it 366 days of Lost. You gotta call it 365 days of Lost, because that just sounds better, I guess. Uh, so tomorrow I'll be talking about the pilot. I guess part one of the pilot. I'll separate the parts. But yeah, just to talk about a little bit my experience with Lost for the first time. Now, I first watched Lost 20 years ago, September 2004, when it aired on the air. I was 9 years old, which is crazy to think about. Uh, and that was actually my mother's idea to watch Lost. I guess she had heard of it one way or another. Just the general premise sounded interesting to her. Um, I don't know if she realized that like Dominic Monaghan from Lord of the Rings was going to be in this, and Terry O'Quinn, who she knew from X-Files and Millennium, was going to be in this show as well. I don't remember if that played a factor into it, but it wasn't really like up to me, to watch this show back then. I just something that I did, and I really like instantly got hooked to it and drawn in. And the thing is, too, I always consider Lost to be like the first TV show I watched. I mean, obviously I watched like cartoons and stuff, uh, but it wasn't like committed, if that makes sense. Lost was the first TV show that I made sure to watch every episode. Like, I fully experienced that show. I waited week by week for the next episode. I waited months for the next season to come out. Yeah, sure, I would watch cartoons like Courage the Cowardly Dog or whatever. But I didn't I wasn't anticipating the next episode or following the story. I was just like, oh, this is on, I'll watch it. It was more like that, which is I'm sure it's like that for a lot of people when they're younger. But yeah, so that was Lost was really like the first real TV show I really watched, and I don't know, it just hit me. There was something about it that just drew me in and had such I think a big impact on me. Honestly, uh, it's one of my favorite things. Like I'm constantly thinking about this show. I'm constantly wanting to talk about this show. I mean, heck, the original point of this channel was to talk about Lost, but it somehow developed into Half-Life, which I also like Half-Life as well. I'll be talking about Half-Life throughout the year a couple times, because Half-Life 2 is my favorite video game, and that also came out in 2004. I don't think I played it in 2004, because I only played Half-Life 2 on the Xbox, and it didn't come to the Xbox until 2005, I believe, but I'm cheating a little bit here, so it is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year, so, but still. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just really like this show a lot. I'm constantly rewatching it, and like it draws me to other things as well. Like other TV shows or movies that have you know lost actors in it or are made by the lost writers or directors, and I'll talk about those things in the future as well. Some of the other ways that loss has impacted me in the things that I've watched and seen. Uh, this series, the 365 Days of Lost, it's going to like evolve as well throughout the year. I want it to be of a little better quality. I don't want to be holding the camera like I'm doing right now. I want to get like an actual setup for this, and plan out what I say a little bit better as well. Because this was definitely kind of like a last minute thing. Even though I knew I was going to be doing this for months now, this was still pretty last minute. Because I did just come from the movie theater, watching a movie, which I guess you can tune into the daily Half-Life 3 update where I talk about what movie I just saw in the theaters. But yeah, so make sure you tune in tomorrow for a continuation of this, I guess, a next part or whatever. I'll be talking about Pilot Part 1, and I'll see you there.